The Phoenix Suns look to do what both the Orlando Magic and Philadelphia 76ers did last night. That is avoid an 0-3 series hole. Can they do it? Or will they end up like the Lakers? Plus, we've got the Pacers and Mavs favored in their game threes. Both favorites taking money. Over money starting to show across the board. 3 NBA playoff games, plus a bunch of new series in MLB getting underway on Friday. We've got you covered. Kind enough to join me, the brand new president of the Michael Penix Jr. fan club, my good friend and yours, Mr. Mark Zinno.
Yeah. I look like a guy who just selected Michael Penix 8th overall after paying Kirk Cousins $180 million. I spent way too much time last night on X, Twitter, whatever it is, just trying to make sense of what anybody in the Falcons front office was thinking. It's toxic groupthink. It's just a bad pick. The kid deserves a chance to start. Now he's going to be picking splinters out of his ass for the next 2 or 3 years.
Yes, the two biggest traditions in Georgia, the Masters and Mark Zinno arguing with Falcons fans. We'll talk. Yes. Well, there's a lot more time, many more months to talk about the NFL. But Mark, we've got 3 games on the docket tonight. The favorites and the over look to be taking money this morning. Give me a game that is grabbing your attention.
Shame on ESPN for making a playoff game start at 5:30 on a Friday. Because there's nothing better I want to do while sitting in Midtown traffic than try to listen to an NBA game on the radio. Just bad decision. Anyway, that 6 for Indiana looks a little fat. I think they can cover it. I mean, and it's interesting because, that total for game 2, or that total for game 3, rather, is kind of similar to what it was for game 2, sitting around that 223 range and 223.5 in certain spots. I think you get a ton of scoring here again from Indiana. I'm not sure how Milwaukee slows them down. Clearly, game 1 was the outlier from a shooting perspective for Indiana, so I'm not, sure if Indiana can cover this number, but I think we see that game sort of clear and go over the total. Milwaukee, I don't think they'll be as bad as they were in game 2, only scoring 105, 108, whatever it is, 108. I think they'll be better than that, but still, I think this thing goes over. I'm really curious here on the middle game between LA and Dallas, who's going to win it and how's it going to go. You give a ton of credit for Dallas for stealing that game in Los Angeles, but it feels like a spot where the Mavericks lose this thing. I wouldn't want to lay 4.5 with Dallas. I think the Clippers are the right side as far as the spread is concerned. And the lower this thing goes, probably the more it favors LA. The higher this thing goes, the more it favors Dallas. So I would look for Clippers in and under, and then Phoenix has to win, don't they? You were into this first half thing, and I'll let you talk about it in a second. But it just feels like Phoenix kind of has to win this one.
Must win. I'm doing the air quotes there. Must win does not mean will win. But yes, you talked about the first half angle. I would like to thank everyone who joined me on Customer Appreciation Day on Thursday. I know you won your $5 Customer Appreciation play as well.
Yes.
I did with Orlando in the first half. I laid 1.5 in the first half. They were up by 16 en route to a massive blowout victory over the Cavaliers. And Phoenix is in the same situation as Orlando. We mentioned this on the show yesterday. Teams returning home, down 0-2 in the series, cover in the first half at a 66% rate. The trend has tailed off a little bit in recent years, but 66% going back to 2005 is pretty good. And yes, similar to Orlando last night, Phoenix, you would expect a strong start. If they don't have a strong start, you have to wonder if they end up like the Lakers. All 3 home teams last night entered down 0-2. 2 of the 3 covered, so that's 67%. I would lay it in the first half with the Suns. This is a team, Mark, that people thought was going to win the series coming in.
Right.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, not even people in Minnesota, not even, T-Wolves fan 1 on X thought that his team would be up 3-0 after 3 games. So I would expect a strong start from the Suns in the late game here on Friday, and I would lay it.
And I'll take a victory lap and pat myself on the back here. And I know our good buddy Joe Ranieri is listening, as I've told him several times as well, just so we all understand, because I'll say it again. Folks, there is nothing that the Lakers do better than the Nuggets in the game of basketball. So I just wanted to get that out there and remind everybody, when I told everybody to take the Nuggets last night, it was I didn't even panic at all, outside of the fact that they were down 8-0 to start the game.
I would like to offer one caveat. There is one thing the Lakers do better than the Nuggets. Apparently, the first half play because they have been they've
true.
covered the first half number
yeah.
in all 3 games that are down 0-3. That is crazy. Let's move to Major League Baseball, Mark, because it is Friday, and that means new series on the horizon. There's a lot of interesting matchups on the docket. The Miami Marlins are minus 170 favorites on the money line. That can't happen. I get that Luzardo, has a reputation, and they're playing the Washington Nationals, who aren't very good. But for the Miami Marlins to be this large of a favorite on the money line, no, thank you.
Like Jesus Luzardo is good, but he's got a 6.58 ERA and a 1.42 WHIP on the year. Like he has yet to go and start giving up less than 2 runs. He's given up 5 home runs so far in 5. Like the Nationals, I would find a way to bet them. I mean, why not just take them on the money line for kicks and giggles? Like, sprinkle a little down there against Luzardo.
I looked at the run line. It's a little juicy. It's like minus 145, minus 150. That's never fun. But I'll tell you what is, I think, the way to go. And I'm going to kick off the double play, my half of the MLB double play. We'll get to yours in a moment. You have not lost, I believe, all week in your half of the double play. So stay tuned to what Mark has to say. But I'm going to contribute this. And I think you're going to be very happy, Mr. Zinno, as the good little New York boy that you are. I like the Yankees today because they are facing Milwaukee. Now, Milwaukee's off to a great start. Reports of their demise were greatly exaggerated before the start of the year. They were a little bit undervalued. But Colin Ray, who was the Brew Crew starter on Friday, we talk about the regression monster all the time on this show, Zinno. I think the regression monster is going to bite Colin Ray sooner than later. He has a ERA so far of 2.08, but there's a metric called expected ERA. Colin Ray's expected ERA is 6.13. So he's been very lucky to get away with giving up as few runs as he has. You look at who Ray has faced so far. Okay, he did pitch in Camden Yards. All right, and he gave up 3 runs. That was the only time he lost. Oh, by the way, he didn't make it 6 full innings. The other 3 starts, he faced the Mets, the Mariners, and the Cardinals. I think the Yankees, they come in, they're a little embarrassed. They had to settle for a series split at home with the A's in both losses. They put 1 run total on the board in their 2 losses. I think the Yankees come in quite motivated. This is a team that's 13-3, oh, by the way, against right-handed starters so far to start 2024. So I like the Yankees at a pretty cheap price on the money line on the road. Colin Ray, he is going to regress. He is due for a bad start, in my opinion.
There's a couple of different places to look here for my half of the double play. I want to bring up, just note to everybody, Chris Bassett of the Toronto Blue Jays, who's pitching at home, is a veritable lock in the first 5 innings every time he pitches at home. However, tonight he's facing the Los Angeles Dodgers. And that's not a team that I often want to bet against in general. My feeling here about this game and the way to bet it, I would probably, more than anything, look to a first 5 under here and play it that way. So that'll be my half of the double play. Give me the first 5 under 4.5 here between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Bassett will do his job. I think Stone gets a little bit of a bump against a Blue Jays team that isn't necessarily tearing the cover off the ball in any size, way, shape, or form.
That is Mark Zinno. He is looking to make it, I believe, a perfect 5 for 5 this week on our new show, The Morning Wager, with his half of the double play. All right, show best bet. We are 3-1 with these this week, including yesterday's team total over. And Mark, for today's show's best bet, I wanted to bring up that I had a first 5 over yesterday because we're looking at a first 5 over today for our show best bet as we head to your neck of the woods, Atlanta, who is hosting my Cleveland Guardians.
Michael Penix questions aside, let's focus on a team that actually knows what they're doing when it comes to the front office. That's the Atlanta Braves. They are taking on the Cleveland Guardians. You get 2 lefties on the mound here. Logan Allen of the Guardians and Chris Sale of the Atlanta Braves. Now, Logan Allen's ERA is the price of a gallon of milk at $5.06. And Chris Sale's ERA is 4.38. So these are 2 lefties who aren't exactly dominating. Now they're being effective because Logan Allen is 3-0, Chris Sale is 2-1. Their teams are winning. Why? Because these guys are getting phenomenal run support. Now, let's take a gander at some statistics here, Brian Power, because against left-handed pitching this year, would you like to take a guess, second in batting average and sixth in batting average, respectively, in Major League Baseball against left-handed pitching? I will give you a guess.
I'm going to guess it's the Braves and Guardians.
That would be correct. Cleveland number 2 and the Braves number 6. When we go to the category of OPS, on base plus slugging, a very important category when it comes to forecasting runs, would you like to guess who is the number 3 team and the number 5 team against left-handed pitching on the season?
I'm going to guess the Braves and Guardians.
Yes, correct. Cleveland number 3, Braves number 5. And in the category of WRC plus, weighted runs created plus is a stat that sort of forecasts the team's likelihood to continue to score runs at a high rate. Would you like to guess who's number 1 and number 7 in those respective categories against left-handed pitching this year?
Braves and Guardians?
Yeah, Cleveland number 1 overall, Braves number 7 overall in WRC plus. So needless to say, they should tee off on left-handed pitching. Both of these guys should. And so for that reason, and that reason alone, I like us here to get over 4.5 runs in the first 5 innings between the Braves and Guardians.
Yeah, I'll just add one thing here, Mark. Obviously, I like the first 5 over better than the full game over. If people are wondering about that in the comment section. By the way, always feel free to drop a comment down below. If you have any questions on a game Mark and I didn't cover, we'll be glad to get back to you. Also, throw us a like, smash that like button here on YouTube, and make sure you are subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. That way you do not miss any of our exclusive sports betting content here. But the reason I like the first 5 over as opposed to the full game over is there's a chance the Braves may not get 9 at-bats. How about them being, minus 200 on the money line, north of minus 200 against a team with the best record and the best run differential in all of baseball? That tells you something right there. I'll throw in a couple other things about lefties. The Guardians are 6-0 this year in games against left-handed starters, so they've done well in the situation. Do I think they're going to win tonight? No. By the way, very disappointing. We're going with an over here tonight. It was very disappointing that my in-person under run came to an end yesterday. Sorry about that, folks. Jose Ramirez hit a grand slam in the second inning, and I knew we were dead. The weather was much nicer than was forecasted. I had a lovely time at Progressive Field, nonetheless, despite that disappointing loss with the under. But they're not playing in Cleveland tonight. I'm not going to be there. We like the first 5 over between the Guardians and Braves. That's your show best bet. Just to recap, our double play from earlier, Mark likes the first 5 under in Dodgers Blue Jays. I am looking at the Yankees over Milwaukee, and I believe that does it for Friday's edition of the Morning Wager. A fantastic first week of the show, Mark. There's no one else I would rather spend my mornings with talking sports betting than you. Is there anything else you would like to add before we head to what should be a profitable weekend for both of us?
I have no idea why the Falcons selected Michael Penix Jr. 8th overall.
Drop us a like if you like what you heard here on the show. Make sure you subscribe to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Until next time, let's cash some tickets.